Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 15 of Hand of Fate. In the previous video I defeated the 12th encounter, the 12th boss of this game, and I said that I had no idea what happened in the final encounter which we're about to face, and at the time that was true. But I have since gone and watched a very brief video just to see what the last encounter was about for two reasons. One, I've heard that it is actually quite difficult and wanted to have some idea of what I was letting myself in for. And secondly, I've been told by a couple of friends who have faced the last encounter that it's so difficult that the only way really to beat it is to, first of all, arrive at it with most of your health, if not all of it, but also to have certain items of armor, weaponry and equipment that really make the fight easier. Now, in order to do that, you really need to go through the game, replay and regrind through some of the easier dungeons just to unlock some of the encounters. Because if you've probably noticed when we look at the custom deck, we've only got about half of the cards unlocked. So you have to sort of go back through the game a couple of times, unlock all of the cards, and then build yourself a custom deck for the final encounter that puts the weapons and the equipment that you need in there and try and get rid of everything else. So you've got as much chance as possible you're making the highest odds for yourself to arrive at the final encounter with the optimal equipment for it. Now, I don't really have time to do that because I don't intend to show a series where I constantly grind through all the levels to unlock all of the bits of equipment. So what I hope to do is at least reach the final encounter just to show you guys what the final encounter's like. I have seen the game's ending. It's really disappointing, by the way. So even if we don't manage to beat the final encounter, you're not really missing much. However, I would like to show you the final encounter. So let's go and jump back in to Hand of Fate.
Back so soon? I knew you would not falter. There is nothing left but your final challenge.
So, back into story mode. We now have the dealer. So again, we've got some nasty curses here. The player receives a curse at each new dungeon level. How nice. And excommunication, we cannot receive any more blessings. So the chance of actually getting to the final encounter is very nasty. And we probably have to try and rush it as much as possible.
You face me now for the ultimate prize. I offer no mercy.
Well, we are going to use the custom deck. So as you can see, if you look at the number of unlocked cards we've got here, both the equipment cards and the encounters cards, we've only got about just over half unlocked on each. So we could also, at some point, if we wanted to, just to show the ending, is actually go through as Apprentice. Now, what does Apprentice have? I'm not going to do that on this attempt, by the way. Don't think that I intend to do that. But if we were to pick this, stronger in combat, enemies are weaker, but some achievements can't be unlocked. Doesn't have an awful lot that helps out with us, but still, we're going to carry on with Adventure, because that, with Adventurer, we'll see what happens. We might get lucky. I've fluked some levels before.
You face me. The rules change yet again.
Some very nasty cards I noticed in there. Some lose 10 health per curse, and we already start with 2 curses, so landing on one of those is going to give us minus 20 health, and that's assuming that we haven't passed on to any more dungeon levels and gained any more curses.
I hope that is the curse that ends your quest.
Well, we can't sell anything, but that's not too terrible. There's also food on the map, which is nice. Well,
you are so close to victory, and I am so close to the final nothingness. I have fought against this day for so long.
Well, at least we've got some armor. It's only light defense, though. But slowing enemies could be useful. We'll take it for now. Okay, instant destruction of an enemy. That's not too bad. but that gets thrown away. So we didn't even get to keep that. That was unfortunate. You think they'd at least give you the initial blessing. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do here, really. We do have some gold, but there seems to be very little point. We shouldn't have many problems in getting food, because we've got them on these cards. Twisted Canyon. Well, we'll go and try and get a better weapon. There's a massive chance of failing here. Wow, the game really doesn't want me to win here. Of course I find the huge failure. Because what else would I land on? 4 pain cards. Lose 5 max health.
I am sorry.
Lose 10 health per curse. Lose 15 health. Lose 1 equipment. Great. So we're already down to 50 health after the first card. Awesome. Charity 2.
I will happily wager on the outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
Okay, so what are the options here? He begs for food to feed the orphans. The gods show favour to those who help the less fortunate. I'm going to decline. We can't get blessings anyway, so what's the point? Let's go back and grab this food here, because we are healing. We know it's fairly safe. That's the exit portal.
Now, this is my kind of travel.
So let's just take it and get to the next level. That'll give us another curse, which is fantastic. Run speed reduced by 25%.
I look forward to seeing how you approach this particular challenge.
I think we try and gain as much food as we can, just so that we can potentially move backwards and forwards between safe tiles to recover health.
Your currency is spent, your memories tattered and torn, formed into mere cards for us to play with.
So what do we have here? Trading post. I'm just going to be ignoring a lot of the encounters, I think.
Without these, life would be boring.
I'll
and short.
Trade you food for supplies. We could get a random helmet. We could get random armor. We've got quite a lot. Well, we don't actually have all that much food. We're gaining gold. But we don't have a lot of food. No, I'm not willing to do it. I'm going to chicken out on that. Let's start heading down towards that other food. Food wagon.
Perhaps your mind is such that only violence has a lasting impact upon it.
We'll offer to help. Gain a food. Gain card. Because we've already done that one before. 3 food. Not too shabby.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
Now let's move on to this tile. Could be nasty. Heroes remains. We're gaining a lot of gold. We'll make an excuse. We don't want to take the stuff. We don't want the negative debuff. We're going to go onto the store. See what we can buy. We can't sell stuff, but we can buy stuff. So let's at least have a look. Ah, it's an ambush. We've got to fight a monster card. 3 of dust. I think we can manage that. Possibly. This is a booby-trapped level. Of course, they can also be hit by the traps, which is great for us. There we go. Didn't actually lose any health. Good. Well, we don't really get anything for that, so let's go and have a look at the store. Cheeky little ambush. Okay, what have we got? We can't sell anything. War cry. Perform your most damaging attacks without building any combo. That could be useful. Spirit walk. Avoiding all damage till the next step attack. Some of this stuff's quite useful. Ring of peace. After any encounter in which the player did not enter into combat, the player receives +1 gold for every blessing they possess. Well, we can't get blessings. Do you know what we could do? We could just try and save up money and maybe get some of these curses removed. I doubt we'll ever get enough gold to do it, but it might be worth a try. It's an interesting tactic. Especially as there's a lot of gold on the map sometimes. Hitch a ride, that's the way out.
It's better than trudging along a muddy road. Certainly.
Well, this will give us another curse, unfortunately. Last man standing in
Another curse on the table. Let us see how you deal with it.
I don't mind that too much. In every combat, the last enemy alive can no longer be stunned or interrupted. That's not too terrible, actually. Got a travelling mage. Well, we want to go across there because we want to pick both of those up. These two cards should be fairly safe.
Once, many came
don't
to
know what
play
this
the
one
game.
is, but
Now, it's so few. The bored, the obsessed, the weak. Some come here merely to fill their mind with anything else but their problems, with any other issue than the thing on their mind today. Is that what you're doing now?
okay, so let's move over here. Gives us some more gold. Cave rescue. 2 monster cards.
Our King of Dust again returns, with his companions by his side.
Let's attack. The King's a little bit of a pain, but as long as we keep moving around, we should be fine. 3 of Dust is a non-issue, really. I don't think we've got... Well, I say the 3 of Dust is a non-issue, and then we remember that he has like a billion buddies because the King actually comes in with some of his own men. Oh, didn't mean to take that hit there. I didn't roll out of the way quick enough. Interestingly enough, I do believe that that ability the King has can injure his own men if they stand in the way. Keep out of the way of the King, because remember, he does have unblockable attacks. Trying to reflect as much stuff as possible. Oh, get out of the way of that. We don't want to lose any more health if we can avoid it. Just stay out of the way of that. Oh, he hit me. And again. Could have done without that attack. Let's get out of there. Okay, not playing to my best ability here. Let's get out of the way of that again. Can we get any of these guys down? Right, there's an executed one. That's fine. There's one dead. Oh, unblockable. Let's get out of the way of that. Oh, here he comes again. Just him left and one buddy. Unblockable. Unblockable. There we go. Okay, took a fair few hits there. Lost a fair bit more health than I would have liked to. That encounter was far more difficult than I was expecting it was going to be. Wow. Get a gain card, 1 food. Well, that wasn't worth the effort. We do have a shop. And we get a food gain card. Oh, no, we get a food gain card. And we can pick one of these. Now, what do these give us? Soldier's Fury. Attack speed is increased by 10%.
But a small part of the equation. Accuracy, skill, timing. These count for everything.
Okay, attack speed could be useful. Assassin's Greed. Every successful combat grants players some gold.
Another way to profit through violence. You're starting to bore me.
I'm going to go for these. We're going to see if we can get these curses removed. Gain some food. Travelling Mage. Let's have a look and see how much it would cost to have this curse removed, if we can get it removed. Probably a little bit late now, though. No, we can't even remove curses here. Are there any items worth buying? Let's have a look. Each strike inflicts a curse, slowing and weakening the opponent. Receive plus 50% max health and full healing after every combat. Do you know what? That is worth buying. We definitely want that.
The key to success is specialization. The more specific the intention, the more channeled the power, and the more dramatic is the result.
Try and get some health back after some of these encounters. Well, sea voyage.
A voyage across the ocean, or merely a trip down the river.
Let's turn back. I've got a little bit of food piled up, so let's just sort of go back and forwards a couple of times just to get our health back. Puts us up to 79.
Sail away and see what you will find.
Still not totally happy with that decision. I think we'll do it once more. It's a little bit cheesy, but we've got the food. We're playing the game by its own rules, so let's go over here. There we go. 91 health.
Nothing more pleasing than the smell of salt water and the rush of wind, is there?
It'd be so easy to lose the game by just getting a curse that loses us all of our health.
Little pleases me more than watching your attempt to wriggle away from bad luck.
Whenever the player selects a huge success chance card, they must also draw one pain card. Well, that's never going to happen, so we're fine with that. Call of the Priest. A lot of stuff here on the map. Of course, we don't know the way out.
Or at least, this is where the conclusion begins. As much as any game can truly end.
The Maiden.
Your final challenge awaits you now.
Okay, well, there's no point asking for blessings. We might as well just ask for a longer life. 5 max health. Gets us back up to 100.
Health, then I work harder to take it.
Okay, let's just go and see if we can see the final encounter then, because it's got to be on here somewhere. It's either going to be one of these two or this one. Oh no!
An expedition. Press on.
So apparently we can get out of here. Well, okay, let's continue. We'll get another curse, of course. Minus max 10 health whenever the player gains a new curse.
Things become.
Well, that's problematic. Obviously, we don't want to get any new curses. Okay,
This
so
thing I have created. I can hardly bear the sight of it now. I've worked my way through its many convolutions so many times. Run through these conversations in my mind over and over again. Wondered how it all ends. Will I ever know the truth?
Well, does that mean he's on this level? Where can we find him? Well, that's not him, clearly. Do we want to give her any food? I don't think we do. We need to try and find a way out of here. Angry Guildmaster. Try and steal from him. We're probably going to fail. There is no huge success. But I, of course, land on the huge failure. Because that's what I do. Lose 5 max health. Lose 5 max health. Cheers, game.
Nasty.
Yeah, very. So, what's on this card? Something else that's going to rob me of all my health? Devilish Traps.
Imagination and illusion. Spells without weight and meaning. Yet they can wrap you in ribbons as easily as any other.
So it looks like we've got to fight our way through some traps. Made slightly harder by the crappy camera angle here. And then we find out that we're in a room that is a dead end. Oh, ow. Couldn't really avoid that one, unfortunately. quite clear why this camera angle exists. Ow. Oh, nearly. Ow, ow, very ow. Everything hurts. I'm almost dead already. Is that the way out? Well, we found the way out, but we lost so much health there. Well, that wasn't fun. Well, we're definitely not doing that.
This token will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
We don't want to do that. We have no health, and we still need to find our way off this encounter. We've got to look around because we need the exit. There is the exit.
Head downwards, if you dare.
We don't have a lot of food either, which is worrying. But we also don't have a lot of health. So we must continue to press on.
Deeper towards our foe.
Right, this is definitely the end.
The black deck delivers again.
Oh, that's nasty. Movement speed reduced by how much gold they possess. Please, I was going to say, please let one of these be a store, just so that I can sell everything.
You close on your final
or spend
foe.
everything.
Soon we will meet. Regardless of who wins, know that I have enjoyed the game.
So, I am going to be able to show you guys at least part of the final encounter. I don't know how long I'm going to last in it, but with 70 max health, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out too well. We can buy items. The hammer might be useful to me. Let's go and buy it. We want to sell all of our we want to use all of our gold. For every gain card, the player receives 1 gold and 2 health. Well, that's not going to be any use. For every third combat, well, that's not going to be all that useful. How much gold do I have left? I'm just buying everything just to get rid of all of my gold. We don't need any of this, but we don't want to go into the final battle with gold because it'll slow us down. Well, this is going to be tough. So, ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the final encounter.
Now we fight. I had hoped it would not come to this, but I knew it must. I could have built this trap to be flawless, yet I included the seeds of my own demise. I must. You must. This is the way the world turns. Without change, there is only stagnation.
Well, let us at least attempt this. Stuff is about to get real. Very real. Hopefully I can last more than the first 2 minutes. We shall see.
Our final confrontation begins. I will not fall as easily as the other opponents you have faced. The 3 rulers of the Court of Dust return once more. The microcosm reflects.
We start off with the Dusty people here. So what I need to try and do is avoid getting hit. I've already taken some hits, which is flipping annoying. Everybody here has like 1,000,008 unblockable attacks, so the best thing I can do really is just sort of keep moving. Oh, out, nearly. Try and take Jack out if we can first, he'll be the easiest. Oh, I still managed to take several hits there. Game hates me. Ow. Ow. Didn't need to get hit by any of that. Right, now let's see if I can remember how to do this. Like I said, I did see it briefly on a video, so I kinda partially sort of know what to expect.
I have let you come too far. I have become soft. This is your end.
Flick that back at him. Now we go and have a few hits at him. Now we get out of the way. So that was the Dusk guys. And now we have to try and take on the skeletal guys. And yeah, there's no point trying to block that because it's unblockable. Don't get in the way of that. At least this hammer does give me certain advantages against the skull guys. And we're dead already. Wow. I didn't even realise my health had got that low. How very unfortunate.
Your weapon has powers, yet you haven't used them. And now you're dead. You'll never face me.
So, as you can see from that battle, it's quite intense. If you haven't guessed what happens, after you defeat the 3 skull guys, you then have to fight the 3 plague bosses together, and then you have to fight the 3 scales bosses together. So, it becomes quite a difficult challenge, and as you can know, some of those bosses, particularly the scales ones and the plague ones, do so much damage to you, and this is why you really need to go into that encounter not only with as close to your full health as possible, but you also need to have items and weapons and armor which allows you to sort of regenerate your health or leech health from the enemies, because I mean, I don't play optimally, and I've seen somebody else do the final encounter, the video that I was watching. I actually watched a guy who was very good, who was rolling and dodging around all over the place and actually managed to avoid getting hit quite a lot. And even he still had to have certain items that allowed him to regain his health, because you can just lose health so very quickly, especially when you get to the King of Plague. So that's why, in order for me to complete this, I'm going to have to go through and unlock a lot more cards and tailor my deck. Now, I'm not going to be able to do that in time for making another video tomorrow, because I just have other commitments. So, I have shown you guys what the final encounter looks like. So, we are at the end of the game now. Like I said, I'm going to do a little minor spoiler here. Well, it's a major spoiler. I'm going to explain how the game ends. So, if you don't want to find out how the game ends, then stop this video now. But it is quite disappointing. So, essentially, after you've defeated all 4 waves of bad guys, you go up and beat on the dealer's arm for a few seconds, and a big portal opens behind him, sucks him off into the portal, and that's kind of where the game ends. There's sort of an implication that you, as the player, take the dealer's place and you become the dealer, which is kind of that never-ending cycle. It's what he was saying earlier on in this video about he could have made the game flawless, but he had to include in the seeds of his own demise, which you have to do as well, because it's just the way the game works. It's part of the rules. The dealer has to be beatable so someone can take his place. But that's pretty much just how the game ends. So, apart from seeing me face the last 6 bosses of that encounter, you've pretty much seen all of this game has to offer, with the exception of a handful of the encounters. I might go through in my spare time and try and unlock some of the extra cards, and I may occasionally come back to this and try and defeat the final encounter, and if that happens I will actually upload a video of it just to show you guys, but I do have other sort of commitments going on at the moment, so I can't spare the time to continually grind through and attempt to get all of the equipment in time for tomorrow or next weekend or whenever. So I'm going to say for the time being that is the end of this series, but like I said, there may be a random video in the future when I get to a point where I can beat the dealer. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been Hand of Fate. It has been a great game and I have enjoyed every minute of playing of it, and I will still play it some more, but I'll see you guys on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.